Guys, a very humble good morning to all of you. About to get to the good afternoon, but yeah, it's okay. So I hope I'm audible to the online people. Okay, audible. Shall we start? Can I start? Okay. So guys, just give me a second. इसको ना उस पिछले को चला दो, इसको बंद कर दो. हाँ, उसको ऑन कर दो, कोई बात नहीं. That will suffocation होता है नहीं तो. There's no cross ventilation also, ना. So it's okay. So let's revise mind till we have. Yeah. Guys, till now we have come up with the from ancient archaeology to Vedic literature, coinage. So we are talking about ancient archaeological sources we have come across. We have come across various coins, numismatics. We have come across various inscriptions, which are the part of inscriptions are the part of epigraph. Okay, so we have discussed various sources, epigraphic sources. We also have discussed numismatics. Numismatics is the study of epigraph, is the study of inscriptions. Okay. Then what else? We have seen archaeological sources. Starting from the Indus Valley civilization. Okay. By and large, we have also seen chronology, which was the issue. Chronology starting from the Indus Valley civilization, then the Vedic. Before that, we had megalithic. After that, we had what we had after Vedic period, early Vedic and later Vedic. Mauryans. Before that, we had Buddhism and Jainism, which was a reaction. Okay, so it started off by 3300 BCE, then Vedic period from 1500 BCE till 600 BCE. From 600 BCE, we saw inception of Buddhism, which was a reaction. Okay, then we see Mauryas. Okay, then we saw post-Mauryas, then we saw Guptas. In the last class, we discussed Guptas. By and large, we have discussed the society of Harappa. We have discussed society of Vedic. We have discussed how it was different from Mauryas. We have discussed the economy of Indus Valley civilization. Then we discussed the economy of Vedic. Then we discussed the economy of Mauryas and Guptas. Then we discussed the literature, the culture of Vedic period people, how women were subjugated in the later Vedic period. Earlier Vedic, they were more free. Then we discussed about what? Culture. Then we discussed about the archaeological structures. Yes, ideologies, literature also, culture. So culture makes it. Then how Buddhist literature came. That was a reaction of the Vedic period. Okay, how Vedic period came up and how after that we see that earlier we had in Vedic times we had Brahminical literature, that is Sanskritic literature. Then we had Buddhist literature, which was in Pali and Prakrit. In Mauryan period, it was going on. In post-Mauryan period, or the Maurya Gupta's period, we had Sanskritic literature, emergence of Sanskritic literature. Okay, so we have come across various sources, archaeological sources, then chronology of. Now, what is happening is we have deliberately left the South Indian kingdoms and all. So we can start with the Sangam literature, which was 1st century AD, where we left the Satavahanas. So we are left with, by and large, Satavahanas, Indo-Greek, the same time period. We are left with Kanvas, a bit of it. Then we have other, this is post-Mauryan. And after this we have Guptas. Gupta's contemporary is Vakatkas. We have studied Vakatkas. So we have studied both of them. What we are left with this. What we are also left is Pallavas, yes. So roughly, again, I'll pick up the literature again. So we have discussed Buddhist literature. We have discussed Jain literature. We have discussed Sanskritic literature. What are the literatures of Sanskrit? दो बता दो यार, तुम खुश कर दो मुझे. हर्षवर्धन तो आज पढ़ेंगे. कालिदास ने क्या लिखा है भाई? वेरी गुड. ऋतु से याद है इसको. Then he talks about Vara Mihra. Pooja, you also please tell. Shushruta Samhita. She says Shushruta Samhita, yes.
Next is who gave mathematics. Next one is who gave
अब बुद्धिस्ट लिटरेचर का बताओ. Tripitakas. Then literature I'm talking about. और जैन बताओ. अभी तो बोल रहा था. You were just saying Chandragupta death. What was that? Very good, very good.
And next, Maitrakas given by Sanskrit. The Jain monk who wrote Maitrakas.
Guys, everything I have written has a question in UPSC. Parishishta Parvan ka last year question aaya tha. So Vilendra Pando was a question. These were the questions. Arthashastra they have asked last. Then they have asked a question. Literature is what they are fascinated about. You're getting my point? Everything I have, like, who was the contemporary of Kalidasa? Kaun tha? Who was the patron? Kalidasa was under. Very good. Chandragupta 2. That is Chandragupta Vikramaditya. What was the time period? Notes देखो अपने. देखो देखो देखो.
376 to 438.
Parishishta Parvan. Pooja, Parishishta Parvan was related to the death of Chandragupta Maurya because he was a Jaina. Okay, so he died because of Salekhana. Salekhana is slow death, starvation death. Parishishta Parvan. So everything I have, like they have asked about Sushruta Samhita deals with surgery and stuff. There was something like this was a question. You see, guys, if we look at this, you know, there is an interlinkages between these literatures and the kings. Do you agree with me? There is something called a story which is associated with all these things. You agree with me? There is a certain kind of a pattern which we see. UPSC is also asking. You agree with me? Pooja? Please Google them on your phone. And Abhi, right now, Parishishta Parvan UPSC. Parishishta Parvan UPSC. They have asked? They have asked. Please Google Milind Panho and UPSC. In the recent 5 years, huh? They have asked Vilinda Pano, please Google Kalidasa UPSC and Varamihira UPSC. दोनों करो साथ साथ करो. Kalidasa and Varamihira. कब पूछा? वन था क्या? चंद वन था कि टू था? ठीक है? इसमें वन लिखा हुआ है? Okay. Guys, that's the extent of the factual detail they are asking. They are not asking for the sake of asking. They want you to know the entire story. हाँ क्या देख रहे हो तुम लोग? मैसेज में पढ़ गुड. नहीं अच्छी बात है. In your age, I was like that only, but I did not have WhatsApp or Bumble or Tinder or whatever. अभी नया है क्या कुछ? Apple भी आ गया? Oh my God. It's चलो खैर good. So बच लगी थी क्या? कितना बजे? Okay. So Pooja, okay. So Pooja, the point is what I'm trying to make out of all these things is what you see. I'm not a god. I'm also making my comments or my analysis on the basis of questions that have been asked in the last questions. Since due to my personal commitments as well as the paucity of time, since the paper is on 16th of July, thank God कि June में है. So you guys have to make your own effort also. Just Google all these things after my classes get off, because the point is there is a lot of details which we can discuss, which is discussed in the basic classes. But since we have prelims around the corner, you have to make effort that in your notes just put pictures, just put कि भाई इसमें क्या लिखा हुआ था, वो छूट ना जाए. If in any case, well, as far as my notes are concerned, I'll include everything. Include everything means everything. But the point is, I'm also human. I can make mistakes. So ancient and medieval, your question should be, your accuracy should be 80 to 90%. I'm not going 100% because 100% to polity में भी नहीं होते हैं आजकल. You're getting my point. But if my hunch is this thing right, then 12 questions to 13 questions, or minimum 8 to 9 questions from these 28-30 pages. I think that makes a huge difference. उसमें ऐसा होगा 3 ऑप्शंस आएंगे, चौथा नहीं आएगा तुमको. 2 ऑप्शन आएगा, but you'll at least eliminate that 4 options are not correct. 4 pairs are correct. 2 pairs are correct. That's what they are asking. 1 pair तो सही है पक्का, या 2 pair तो सही है, तो 1 eliminate हो गया. You're getting my point? So now the point is you have to make linkages with whatever I have taught you. It might be boring, it might not be boring, whatever. Is it making sense? Okay. So as far as architecture is concerned, अभी हमने आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर की कुछ क्लासेस करनी है. They are asking question that Ajanta is situated on which river? Please Google it. You don't. Ajanta is situated at which river? In the banks of what river? UPSC. Vaghora river. ठीक है? This was asked in which year? 2022. Yeah, we'll do it when we'll be doing art and architecture. Don't worry. But लिख लेगा, लिखना है तो. The point I'm trying to make is you have to be very proactive. Say, I have talked about Base Nagar. Base Nagar is in Vidisha. तो विदिशा गूगल कर लिया, अच्छा देख लिया, अच्छा ये है. That's what, कुछ जोड़ नहीं रहा, because the main problem with the people is because that's not taught. The chronology is not taught. The changes and continuity is not taught because teachers themselves don't know, because उन्होंने इतना नहीं पढ़ा होता है. Mostly engineering backgrounds के होते हैं. Just read it for the sake of reading it. उसको रट्टा मारिया उन्होंने उसके लॉजिक्स बना लिए. कहते हैं कुछ लोग फैक्चुअल में अच्छे होते हैं, लॉजिक बना देते हैं कि मेरा दोस्त है ऋतु, उसकी दोस्त का ये, and this and that. That's how they make mnemonics. I'm not saying that is wrong, but you don't know the whole story. You stick to that, and then you cannot quote it in the mains when they are asking about, with Buddhist literature. So you cannot write many things about Buddhist literature if you don't know how Buddhism changed. How Buddhism changed from Buddha to Hinayana, Mahayana to Tantrayana. Now you know it. And how Hinduism changed from Vedic period to Vaishnavism. How things changed as per rulers. How rulers were also intelligent that they were also patronizing Jaina, they were also patronizing Brahmana, they were also patronizing Hinduism, New Hinduism and Buddhism. Yes. Okay. चलिए start करें. So today I'm going to start with the early medieval period. So ancient, by and large, things we talked about, except those South Indian thing. So we are here at early medieval period. Post-Guptas. And this is also the time where it is called the period of Indian feudalism. What is feudalism? Local rulers are becoming more prominent. So we have rulers, we have talked about this also. Please write. The term early medieval, and before that please write the post-Guptas, the age of regional configurations. The age of regional configurations. 600 AD onwards. The term early medieval denotes the intermediate period between the ancient and the medieval. Full stop. This period in India is marked by feudalism, political fragmentation, and the formation and proliferation of various states and at a regional level, of various states at regional level. Full stop. Next paragraph. In South India, especially, this period is viewed as a ritual head. Sorry, this period as a period of segmentary statehood. Segmentary statehood, right? Just look at this picture again. अपने जहन में बिठा लो ये पिक्चर. इसमें से 2-3 क्वेश्चन आए थे. The time period is, before this we had Guptas which lasted till 550s, 580s लगा लो, कुछ बचे होंगे छुटपुट. After that, these Maitrakas, Vallabhi, this is important. Maukharis of Kannauj, important. Late Guptas, important. Harsha. अभी प्रतिहारास आना बाकी है. Then we had this port. Then we had Pallavas of Kanchipuram. Cheras, Pandyas will be discussing separately. Then we had Chalukyas of Badami. इसको आपने ड्रॉ किया हुआ है just to give you a reference to start with. इससे पहले की स्टोरी गाइस कोई डाउट है प्लीज पूछ लो, because after 2 or 3 classes we'll be starting off with art and architecture. ठीक है? बना लो. This is the same picture I used in the last class, but still, just to give you a reference. So इस time period में we also have Harsha's kingdom, which we'll be discussing in our subsequent lecture, in this lecture. But at the same time we have Chalukyas. So we are fighting, Harsha is fighting with Chalukyas. Chalukyas are fighting with Pallavas. So this should be kept in mind. And Chalukya's capital is in Badami, present day Karnataka. Okay, Mokharis are in Kannauj, who are late Guptas, or the feudatories of Guptas, or the local leaders who, after the demise or decline of Gupta's power, rise to prominence. Is it making sense? Okay. मैप्स को अपने जहन में बिठा लो, जैसे अपनी एक्स गर्लफ्रेंड को बिठाते हो ना बॉयफ्रेंड को, वैसे ही भूल नहीं पाते हो ना, जैसे कितना भी चाहो पहला प्यार नहीं भूलते तुम लोग हैं? Pooja, is it making sense? Hey Pooja, I hope you understand what is the magnitude of the questions I've discussed, because it's asked in, it's the syllabus of the past year UPSC paper. Okay, thank you. अभी तक तुम्हारे पास कितने मैप्स बने हुए हैं? How many maps have you drawn till now? 3. Go back to your Harappa, go back to your Vedic. Just go through that slide जो मैंने तुम्हें भेजी है, ठीक है? Draw Chanudaru, draw Desalpur, draw Rakhigadi, draw Manda, everything again in your, उसको चिपका लो अपने उसमें. मान लिया ये स्टिकर है, उसको करके सारा बड़ा बड़ा स्टिकर चिपका लो, टक टक, just add Buddhism. First meeting, this was the chairman. Second, this was the chairman. Third, we had Sutta Pitakas and Pitakas. What is Pitakas? Just story that they died and something like that. Then you have your Harsha, Vakatakas, matrimonial relations. Who was who? Harisena was two Harisenas. Make sure you write a Chichura example. He's not that Harisena. Harisena, that is different. This is different. That's how you understand. अपने हिसाब से करो चीजें, ठीक है? करें आगे. Segmentary statehood written, wherein the king acted as a, where the king acted more as a ritual head. The period from 600 to 1200 AD, AD और CE same ही होता है, can be roughly classified into primarily two phases. Can be roughly classified into two phases. Different for North and South India. Now we are moving to the South India also, guys. Respectively. First, A, you can say, the period from 600 AD to 700 AD in North India was dominated by the Pushyabhutis, was dominated by the of Thanesar. Thanesar कहाँ है? Present day Kurukshetra. Thanesar and Thaneswar same ही है. And Mokharis, this Mokharis of Kannauj. And correspondingly, the period from 600 to 750 AD in South India, which included three major states: Pallavas of Kanchi, देखो, Pallavas of Kanchi or Kanchipuram, Chalukyas of Badami, Karnataka. Badami, Karnataka mein. And Pandyas of Madurai. This one. Pandyas of Madurai present in Tamil Nadu and parts of Kerala. Then change paragraph. B or second. The period from 750 to 1200 AD in North India. The period from 750 to 1200 AD in North India can be further divided into two phases. Phase 1. Two phases. इसके नीचे लिखो phase 1. From 750 to 1000 AD, from 750 to 1000 AD, where three important empires coexisted. Gurjara Pratihara, Rashtrakutas in the Deccan. And Palas in the east, or Bengal, you can say Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Phase 2. Phase 2 from 1000 to 1200 AD. Paragraph change कर लेना. From 1000 to 1200 AD, which is primarily known as the age of conflict. Which is primarily known as the age of conflict. Age of conflict. And a breakdown of tripartite powers into many smaller kingdoms. Tripartite powers into many smaller kingdoms all over the country. Full stop. For example, in North India, the disintegration of Pratihara Empire, the disintegration of Pratihara Empire brought to forefront various Rajput states under the control of various Rajput states under the control of various Rajput dynasties. Various Rajput dynasties, such as Chauhans or Chahmans. Chauhans and Chahmans same hai. Chandelas, and Parmaras of Malwa. Malwa kahan hai? Rajasthan. The western part of MP, which also is with this thing. And so on. And after this, we had Muhammad Ghazni invading in India. Okay? The period from 850 to 1200 in South India saw the supremacy of the Cholas. So here we'll be discussing this time period. Period from 600 to 750 AD in North India. Please write Pushyabhutis of Thane, sir. This. We are talking about Vardhana's empire. Okay? From the middle of the 6th century, North and Western India was ruled by different feudatories of the Guptas. Full stop. An important ruling family to gain prominence. After the fall of Guptas was the Pushyabhutis, who had their capital at Kurukshetra or Thanesar, Haryana. थानेसर हरियाणा. ठीक है, इससे याद रखना कि मेरी शादी कहाँ है? कुरुक्षेत्र में है. तुम्हारे मास्टर की शादी. ठीक है? लड़की उत्तराखंड की थोड़ी भाई, लड़की तो हरियाणा की है. हरियाणा, कुरुक्षेत्र. थानेसर ही कुरुक्षेत्र है. ठीक है? थानेसर नियर कुरुक्षेत्र, मतलब दोनों एक ही है. थानेसर कुरुक्षेत्र. किसकी थी? अबे सर की तो थी, पुष्यभूति की थी. तो जो उल्टी चीज उसको लाफिंग बुद्धा याद आता है. तभी कहती है मेरे को लाफिंग बुद्धा क्यों बुलाते हो? ये स्कूल के वो बच्चे हैं जो बच्चे मास्टर से मजे लेते हैं. नहीं, but it's okay. I used to be a very bad batcher. Like this is the third year I've been teaching, so the review is very good, very phenomenal. But I can connect to the last guy. Ask him because that's what is me. I understand that he will not understand. तो वहां से स्टार्ट करना है. टॉपर्स इज लाइक टॉपर्स विल टॉक अबाउट टॉपर्स ओनली. They'll think 12 घंटे पढ़ लो. अरे कैसे पढ़ेगा 12 घंटे बाबा? एक दिन पढ़ के दूसरे दिन फिर पार्टी कौन करेगा? माल कौन फूकेगा? That is not a problem. Problem is consistent effort is very important. It's not about one day you just rise and just 10 years. अभी एक scroll में तुम सोचते हो the entry of an IAS. Before the PDF comes and the first name comes, nobody knows that person. And the followers increase from 100 to 1 lakh. 1 lakh ही बोलते हैं ना 1 million को. Okay. Just ये डेटा ले लो जिसको कोई नहीं जानता होगा. रिजल्ट आएगा प्रीलिम्स का, मेंस का, सॉरी इंटरव्यू का, उसको तब वो जान लेगा. और फिर सब सोचते हैं यार इसको चिल मार रहा है भाई ये. अरे उसके पहले की जर्नी तो देखो उसको. Nobody looks at and you guys think that only life is in Lavasana only. Love for Lavasana. अरे 32 साल नौकरी करेगा उसका क्या? Suppose you got into services 25 in your age. 2 years तो तुम you'll be in Lavasana. Next 33 years. Service means नौकरी, नौकर. किसका? गवर्नमेंट का. बाढ़ आ गई, डीएम. रेप हो गया, डीएम. दंगा हो गया, डीएम. चुनाव हो गया, डीएम. चोरी हो गई, डीएम. बच्चे बीमार हो गए, डीएम. फॉरेन सर्विस. ईरान चले जाना, अफगानिस्तान चले जाइए. द पॉइंट इज आई एम नॉट गिविंग यू अ नेगेटिव पिक्चर, बट द पॉइंट इज लाइफ विल नॉट बी दैट इजी. इट विल बी अ रिस्पांसिबल जॉब, so to speak. You will not be putting status every time like a lot of IAS officers who get notice after that. तो देखा नहीं उसको यूपी वाला जो मॉडल था, he got a notice, then he left. हाँ, that is the thing. Okay. Now, what are the sources we are having? Two major historical sources which provide information regarding Pushyabhuti dynasties are two major historical sources which provide information regarding the Pushyabhuti dynasties are Harshacharita, written by Banabhatta, his court poet and his friend also. And Vincent. ठीक है, गुड. But you must know the time period also, huh? And what is like if he's there, Chalukyas are also they're having conflict also. We'll discuss. Okay. Pushyabhutis, then screen check. Originally feudatories of Guptas. We know that. Okay. First king is Prabhakar Vardhana, who comes to power at mid 6th century AD. Prabhakar Vardhana, 650 लिख लो, 650 CE. To the power at 650 AD. Prabhakar Vardhana. नहीं, पुष्यभूतिस पूरा क्लैन है, इसके अंदर रूलर्स है. ओके, ये कौन सा डायनेस्टी? मतलब पुष्यभूतिस हर्षवर्धन है. हर्षवर्धन इज अ किंग ऑफ पुष्यभूति डायनेस्टी. गुप्ता के अंदर कौन था? चंद्रगुप्ता और समुद्रगुप्ता. But here the dynasty is Pushyabhuti dynasty and the king is important king is Harshavardhana. Now the first king I'm talking about, like who laid the foundation in real, is Prabhakar Vardhana, who came into being in mid of 6th century. इसका अलग से dynasty Pushyabhuti dynasty की तो बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. उसका सबसे फर्स्ट रूलर हर्षवर्धन. अभी तो हमने सोर्सेस की बात की है. जैसे देखो, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, वी टॉक अबाउट मौर्याज. मौर्याज में वी टॉक्ड अबाउट समुद्रगुप्त और चंद्रगुप्त विक्रमादित्य. बट चंद्रगुप्त विक्रमादित्य वाज द फाउंडर ऑफ गुप्तास. हु वाज द फाउंडर ऑफ? सॉरी, गुप्तास. हु वाज द फाउंडर ऑफ गुप्ता रूल? Chandragupta I. Yes, Sri Gupta I. So there are a chronology of rulers. Here we are talking about Banabhatta. Banabhatta gives us source. That doesn't mean कि वो रूलर पहला रूलर था. He is a very important ruler. अब उसके पहले उसका दादा कौन रहा होगा? अच्छा, राज्यवर्धन उसका भाई था. अभी बताता हूँ उसको. You getting my point? समझ गए ना? प्रभाकर वर्धना led the actual foundation of the Pushyabhuti dynasty. Foundations. He established important matrimonial alliances with. He established important marital लिखते हैं, but I write matrimonial. You can write anything. Matrimonial alliances with Maukharis of Kannauj. ये देखो, Maukharis of Kannauj आसपास थे तो शादी कर लेते थे. क्यों भाई, बंदा अगर उत्तराखंड का है तो ही कैनॉट मैरी हरियाणा गर्ल. ये कौन से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखा है भाई? बताओ. ये लोग रीजनलिज्म फैला रहे हैं. ठीक है. After his death, his elder son Rajavardhana came to the throne. But he was treacherously killed by Shashanka. Treacherously, Treacherously, killed by Shashanka, the king of Gauda. Guys, इधर देखो. The king of Gauda. ये लोग लड़ते होंगे ना आपस में for this fertile area. भाई हम लोग क्यों लड़ रहे हैं इससे? ये यहाँ के लिए कहाँ गया? Why are we fighting with this for this chicken neck? Why? और भाई नॉर्थ ईस्ट की एंट्री वहीं से. इकोनॉमिक सिग्निफिकेंस ऑल्सो. This part is agriculturally rich, so these people wants to capture this. These people also wants to capture this. Where do they come from? Here. Where do they fight? Generally here. पानीपत की लड़ाई पानीपत में क्यों हुई? यहाँ से की रानी कहाँ की रानी थी? झांसी की रानी कहाँ की रानी थी? That's what you used to ask in our. So jokes apart. So this Panipat, why all the battles used to happen in Panipat? Vast. You can fight near to Delhi. Easy to reach that place. ये UPSC ने पूछा था एक क्वेश्चन. ठीक है? चलो. He was treacherously killed by Shashanka, the king of Gauda, that is in Bengal and Bihar. और बंगाल और बिहार गाइस आजकल का बंगाल नहीं है, इट इंक्लूड्स बांग्लादेश, नॉर्थ ईस्ट आल्सो. ठीक है? अब ये बस बोलना कि जब बंगाल पार्टीशन पढ़ाऊंगा ना मैं, बंगाल पार्टीशन, सो दे आर, एक फुटबॉल का क्लब है दैट्स कॉल्ड वेस्ट बंगाल, तुमने सुना नहीं होगा शायद. सो वेस्ट बंगाल इज प्रेजेंट डे Calcutta region and East Bengal is Bangla, which was a part of India. ठीक है? धीरे धीरे मैं आ रहा हूँ मॉडर्न के उसमें. So I hope you guys are interested in modern. I'll be skipping some section of medieval which I'll be doing in art and culture also because वो करवाना है. नहीं नहीं यार ऐसे थोड़ी होगा, पेपर बहुत क्वेश्चन फंस रहे हैं. अभी medieval से क्वेश्चन आ गए तो फिर तुम क्या करोगे? देख 10 क्लासेस तो मॉडर्न की भी होंगी ना, 7 से 10 क्लासेस. सो 10 क्लासेस तो एंशिएंट की भी होंगी. दिस वी आर सिटिंग ऑन द 7th क्लास, सो 2-3 मॉडर्न वो करेंगे. यस, सो यू गेट इट ना. मॉडर्न विल बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, डोंट वरी, है ना. देखते हैं तुम्हें कितना आता है मॉडर्न. तुम लोग बहुत मॉडर्न कर रहे हो. चलो ठीक है. देन प्लीज राइट हर्षवर्धन 606 to 647 AD. Roughly around 40 years. He was known as the last great Hindu king of India, who was originally a Shaiva. Who was originally a Shaiva, but also supported Buddhism to a great extent. To a great extent. He gave donations. He gave donations to several Buddhist donations to several Buddhists. Harsha's reign was marked by many military victories. And he brought most of the North India under his control. India under his control. As he bought the 5 Indies region, regions, namely Punjab, Kannauj, Bengal, Odisha or Odisha, and Mithila Bihar mein, and assumed the title of Shiladitya or Siladitya. As mentioned in the travel records of Chinese traveler Huan Tsang, HSUANTSANG. Huan Tsang. Please change the paragraph. He was victorious against the rulers of Sindh in the northwest, and also defeated the Vallabhi king Dhruv Sena 2. King of Vallabhi is in Gujarat. However, he was defeated by Pulakesin II, who was a Chalukyan king of Badami. Pulakesin II was a Chalukyan king. Chalukyan king of Badami on the banks of Narmada. On the banks of Narmada. Pulakesin II bestowed the title of Sakal Uttarpathnaatha. Sakal Uttarpathnaatha means the person who defeated the Nath or the king of Uttarpad, that is North India. I repeat, SAKALA UTTARA and NATHA, meaning Lord of entire North. इसको भी आने दो ना, just wait for a while. Where's the other girl? मुझे लगा ऐसे बड़ी उम्र गई. वो नहीं रहे, मतलब अभी हमारे बीच में नहीं है, मतलब घर पे. सही सही गुड. चलो, आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट इज बीइंग टॉट. या गाइस, ये सब ना जो आसपास के, ठीक है, these historical sites, these names are important. अभी I'll be dealing with the Sangam literature which is 1st century, post Mauryas और सातवाहनास also. तो उसमें भी और थोड़े से नाम आएंगे, बट बाय एंड लार्ज अब तुम लोगों को थोड़ा समझ में आने लग गया होगा कि नेम्स है ना, familiarity with the names comes with the past year also, then you understand अरे ये पूछा हुआ, ठीक है. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बाकी ये सब चीजें तो रोज रोज देखते रहोगे ना, तो 10-15 दिन बाद यू विल फाइंड, अच्छा हाँ आई नो मैत्रकास, अच्छा वहां पर था मौकारी. पूरा पेपर तक बस आपके दिमाग में अटक जाए ना ये सब चीजें. दैट्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट एल्स इज देयर एनी प्रॉब्लम? यू गाइस कैन आस्क द पीपल हु आर ऑनलाइन, कैन आल्सो आस्क इज देयर एनी प्रॉब्लम विद टेस्ट दे कि चाहिए. अच्छा, तो टेस्ट तो पास का भी दे दूंगा. सो व्हाट इज द पेडागोजी? बाकी टीचर्स टेस्ट देते हैं? अच्छा, ठीक है, पहले पढ़ लो एंशिएंट वाला, फिर आई विल गिव यू पेपर आल्सो. दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी. हाँ, अच्छा पूरा सिलेबस करके ना. हाँ, उसमें भी तो कितने क्वेश्चन, हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस डिड यू गिव? अच्छा ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत. वन डे ओनली पेपर और वन डे ओनली फॉर लाइक 1 hour का टेस्ट? ओके, ठीक ठीक. और कुछ करो बिल्कुल करो, लेकिन पास्ट ईयर को मत छोड़ो, है ना. वो भाई कहाँ गए? चलो कोई बात नहीं, आ जाएगा. नहीं, ही सम दिस थिंग इज कमिंग, सम ऑफ हिज पैकेज कुछ आ रहा है. Anyway, the capital of Harsha was originally Thaneshwar. Thaneshwar बताया था मैंने, कुरुक्षेत्र. But later it was shifted to Kannauj. Thaneshwar, but later it was shifted to Kannauj. Kannauj, this is the area. The Chinese pilgrim Huinsang, who is also known as the Prince of Travelers, Only 2 or 3 lines are left, this thing. Just leave this thing. The Chinese pilgrim Huinsang, who is also known as the Prince of Travelers. Traveler Huinsang, who is also known as the Prince of Travelers and the author of this book called 𝐃𝐸𝐽, traveled India from 629 to 644 AD. Huinsang, who is also known as Prince of Travelers and author of this book, visited India during this period, 629 to 644 AD. He was the friend of Harsha. He was a friend of Harsha and wrote vivid accounts of beauty and prosperity of Kannauj. He, in his detailed account, writes about grand assembly held at Kannauj in 643 AD, which was attended by representatives of Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. Next paragraph. Harsha was a great patron of art and literature. He himself wrote 3 dramas. He himself wrote 3 dramas. Priyadarshika, Naganand, and Ratnavali. Priyadarshika, Naganand, and Ratnavali. Nagananda is based on Buddhist literature. It's a Buddhism. And Ratnavali and Priyadarshika are romantic novels or romantic poems. Dramas, sorry. Okay? Priyadarshika and Ratnavali are romantic dramas, and Nagananda is it's based on Bodhisattva and Buddhist literature. नहीं पियदसी वो सोच रही है देवानाम पियदसी, that's different. Priyadarshika is different. Okay, Harsha established a large monastery at Nalanda. Established a large monastery at Nalanda. Nalanda is in Bihar. Banabhatta, who is the author of Harshacharita, and Parvati Parinay. Harshacharita and Parvati Parinay Mayura, author of Mayur Shataka. Mayura is different, huh? Mayura Shataka. Shatak matlab 100. Grammarian Bhartri Hari. BHAR. Grammarian. After that, grammarian, that's different. Bharatri Hari. BHAR. Acha. BHARTRIHARI. Bharatri Hari. He's a grammarian. हर कोर्ट के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ नवरत्नास and people used to have, be there, no? So there क्या परवत्री प्रणय ये है और पार्वती परिणय. परिणय सूत्र क्या होता है? परिणय means when somebody is born. Yes, marriage and what do you call it? When a kid is born, it's परिणय, this thing. And grammarian Bharatri Hari. Author of Vakapadya. Author of Vakapadya. Vakapadya. Padya means sentences. He, next paragraph, he had diplomatic relations with the Chinese contemporary rulers. Next paragraph. The death of Harsha was followed by a period of political confusion. That continued up till 8th century. Until or when the Gurjara Pratiharas and Rajput rulers emerged as a big force in North India. Administration under Harsha. Harsha governed his empire on almost the same lines as the Guptas. Harsha governed his empire on almost the same lines as the Guptas. Except that his administration was more feudal and decentralized. The leading feudatories of Harsha were भास्कर वर्मन of कामरूप. कामरूप अभी आसाम को बोलते हैं. भास्कर वर्मन of कामरूप, ध्रुव भट्ट of वल्लभी, Purnavarmana of Magadha, and Udit of Jalandhar. You're getting my point. But the point is, you see, in this period, we see rise of Indian feudalism, as I say. That different, like Kamrupa, Mokharis, Maitrakas, all these are like local leaders. Because what happens after this is very interesting. After this, the Rajputs take the North India, Chauhans. Still, आप देखो सोलंकीज, जितने भी विंध्या में भी वो कौन है एमएलए एमपी? भाई ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया कौन है? He's a Rajput. He was his forefathers were Chandelas. या तुम्हारी जो जयपुर की रानी का नाम क्या है अभी? Who is that chief minister before this? Vasundhara Raje is a bahu of Rajasthani Gharana. Your all Pawar Sahib of Maharashtra. Your who's your this thing? Reddys. No. The Reddys are earlier feudal lords still having powers. Reddys are a big economical powers in your area, na? Who are Reddys? Reddys used to be the associates of kings. Reddy का मतलब क्या होता है? Community of landlords. You understand, na? Yes. So still the power is now decentralized to local leaders. Yadav, बिहार में यादव कौन है? Community dominant हो गई. You're getting my point. Or Western Uttar Pradesh में we have leaders like who's the Defense Minister of India? Rajnath Singh. Rajnath Singh come from a community which is Rajputs, or he's a like Bahubalis of Western Uttar Pradesh. So still the power is being decentralized by these people. You talk about Madhya Pradesh, you talk about Rajasthan, you talk about even recently that Congress leader, that was my classmate, Vikramaditya Singh. His father was the chief minister of that time. Who was Veerbhadra Singh? He is also a Raja of, जैसे वो रणछोड़ दास नहीं कहता Raja. Okay, they are still having tickets and all because they have money, no? You're getting my point. कहाँ तक लिखा है? Okay. Harsha personally supervised the administration. Harsha personally supervised the administration, and according to record of Huan Sang, records of Huan Sang, he divided his day into 3 parts. He divided his day into 3 parts. Sorry? But the Chinese would have known Indian language also. Even we don't know Indian language, like Chinese languages. There's so much of encryption. We say make in India, but we are getting so many materials from China. What do you think about it? Oppo का फोन लेके रखते हो और make in India की बात करते हो तुम लोग?
Before making India, my phone will be but not
assembled in India. But who will give us cheap alternates? कहाँ से आएंगे? हवा से थोड़ी आएंगे. We have to work on that. No? Like we are collaborating with Samsung also. In Noida, we have a big factory of Samsung. Now Samsung is also coming up. Is it rising? Who is the dominant in Android market? Which? OnePlus. Now?
Now nothing mobile is not and OnePlus not.
It's all Chinese.
Most of the phones are Chinese, Japanese, Koreans. Even Realme
now, like I've seen guys also following Japanese fashion. No, Chinese का? Which fashion? क्या होता है वो? मतलब कोरियन क्या होता है यार ऐसा मतलब? What are those? I never come across these dramas because I've seen like a lot of young nibbies, young boys are into, but which is, eh? Eh?
We don't see like there is a difference between facial structure of men and female.
Yeah. That band is there, no? What? BTS. Yeah, BTS. Like, I don't even understand. Is those people guys or girls? They're so chikne. So, but yeah, when I travel in metros, then guys are like, they are having beach kamang and clean shaven and all. Back our days, we used to like, jinki dad nahi hoti thi, we used to make fun of them. But now things have changed. Things are changing. Now you have baggy jeans. Guys are also wearing baggy jeans and shirts. Back in our days, we used to wear not tight, but the point is it should be body hugging. But now it's a transitionary phase. You see, there are two types of people. One section of people, like people who are in their mid 30s and 40s, are having those salt and pepper. मेरे तो खैर वैसे हो गए हैं, but इसका भी fashion है. You have fashion of clean shaven guys also, baggy jeans also. So there was a third term I came across, this boyfriend shirt. कि मतलब लड़के की शर्ट पहन के लड़की घूम रही है. So things are changing nowadays. That is the thing. The common sense is not so common. Culture, I teach culture, but a lot of people, us, don't even know the culture of Telangana. It's not that, but it's not about just watching the movies of Mahesh Babu. It's about respecting the culture also. Now, I know a lot of people, North Indians, they are watching like itni South Indian movies they are watching. Like, most of the people, they are more than I think the people who are watching Korean. Like, people are crazy about South Indian movies.
Some people say it's good, but if I don't agree.
Influenza. I call them influenza. But you see, there is a thing called imitation and inspiration. Don't imitate anyone. Take inspiration from those things. That's very important. Okay, chalo. Into? Okay. 3 parts. Attending to administrative duties during the first and the and devoting himself to religious work during the other 2. Next paragraph. Huyen Sang pointed to the disintegration of Buddhist sect into 18 sects. Full stop. However, Nalanda emerged as a great center of Buddhist studies. And had a huge monastic establishment. Next is the Maitrakas. Maitrakas were the tributary chiefs of Guptas. Maitrakas were the tributary chiefs of Guptas who established independent kingdom in Western India, ruling over Saurashtra in Gujarat. Full stop. Dhruv Sena II was the most important ruler of Maitrakas. There's a difference. Maitrakas are in Gujarat and Mokharis are in Kannauj. Very good. Important ruler of the Maitrakas. ये तो रुद्र सेना है ना, ध्रुव सेना है ना. इस टाइम पे थोड़ी था वो तो वाकाटकास के टाइम पे था ना। देखो देखो कंफ्यूज मत हो, देवसेना वाकाटकास का था ना। ध्रुव सेना तो मैत्रकास का है, देवसेना तो वाकाटकास था ना। ठीक है, देखो तो सही इस टाइम पीरियड में 647, so he must be after that, no? हर्षवर्धन के टाइम पे होगा ना, वो तो पहले के टाइम पे होगा। What is the time period of हर्षवर्धन? हाँ ये देखो 630 है। आप बताओ टाइम पीरियड क्या है? देखो एक बार क्रॉस चेक करो। हाँ तो मैं भी यही तो कह रहा हूँ, दोनों कंटेम्पररी हैं। समझा नहीं मतलब क्या कहना चाह रहे हो आप? यहाँ पे तो ध्रुव सेना वल्लभी का किंग है, तो वल्लभी और मैत्रकास तो एक ही है। एक ही है। Wallabies is the capital of, just a sec. No, she is right. Wallaby कहाँ है देखो, वहां पर कौन सा रूल है? तो मैत्रिकास की कैपिटल वल्लभी है। यस, मैं उतनी देर से क्या बोल रहा हूँ तुम लोग को? मैत्रकास रूल इज वेयर, लुक एट दिस, ये ग्रे कर रखा है जो, इसकी कहाँ है ये कैपिटल है इसकी? यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? समझ गए? बोथ आर सेम। और तुम लोग उससे कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो मौखारी से, दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग। मैत्रकास की कैपिटल देखो ना कहां पर लिखा हुआ है, देखो स्टार बना हुआ है, ठीक है। एंड दिस इज द पोर्ट दे आर हैविंग, बरकुचा, दो बरोच है, ठीक है। आप कोई डाउट? ओके, हम लोग कहां पर थे? ध्रुव सेना पे। ध्रुव सेना टू वाज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रूलर ऑफ द Maitrakas, ठीक है, हु वाज द कंटेम्पररी ऑफ हर्षवर्धन एंड वाज मैरिड टू हिज डॉटर, एंड वाज मैरिड टू हिज डॉटर। हम क्या बोल रहे थे? मैट्रिमोनियल रिलेशंस। Hyun-sang tells us that Dhruva Sena too attended Harsha's assembly at Prayagraj, Allahabad. The Maitrakas developed Vallabhi as their capital. The Maitrakas developed Vallabhi as their capital. No, मैं यार अपना जूता सही कर रहा हूँ। Yesterday I played, I got injured on my back. I don't know what happened. Fridays को we play, like we play football in Gurgaon. We play with 20s kids, but the point is, oh, they are very fast. They are younger, na? So then they tell me, मैंने कहा how old do I look? Then they say 42. मैंने कहा यार, ये लेकिन भैया आप तेज भागते हो। मैंने कहा यार, हाँ तो फिर क्या दिक्कत है? अभी तो टाइम है अभी, because my uncle is 52. If he comes to the stage, you will say he's 32. He's that much. It's like he clean shaves and all. He's very, because atmosphere भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, वहाँ ठंडा है। Even those aunties in our places, like 50s के aunties, they have rosy cheeks, लाल लाल गाल, बहुत फर्क पड़ता है ना? जबकि they are working very hard. Like पहाड़ों में तो क्या होता है, सब कुछ खुद पे ही लाना पड़ता है। So we have this much terrain, ऊपर चढ़ो नीचे आओ, but I'm used to those things. I'm used to walking, like I walk a lot. That's how you know maintain yourself. यार थोड़ी जिम जाके आप इतने तगड़े डोले शोले बना लो, that's not fitness. ठीक है, that's a part of it. Capital, which was also an important center of learning. Center of learning. It was a port town having flourishing trade and commerce. It was a port town having flourishing trade and commerce. Full stop. The Maitrakas continued to rule until the middle of 8th century, when Arab attacks weakened their power. Arab attacks weakened their power. अब लिखो नेक्स्ट मौखारीज, इसके बाद we'll give you a break. The Mokharis are also subordinate rulers of Guptas. Guys, अभी मैं regional rulers को बता रहा हूँ आपको, ठीक है? So this is major dynasties are not working now. The Mokharis were also subordinates of Guptas. Mokharis कहाँ पर है? And use the title Samant. The Mokharis were also subordinate rulers of Guptas and used the title Samanta. Full stop. They ruled over Kannauj. They ruled over Kannauj, which gradually replaced Patliputra as the political center of North India. Harshvardhana's sister Rajyashri was married to Grahavarmana. Next paragraph. Shashanka, the ruler of Bengal or Gauda. Shashanka, ruler of Bengal or Gauda. Look at this. Yes. And Devagupta, the ruler of Malwa, jointly attacked Grahavarmana and killed him. After the successful expedition of Harshvardhana, the kingdom of Kannauj was then merged with that of the Pushyabhutis. The kingdom of Kannauj was then merged with the Pushyabhutis. And Harsha shifted his capital from Thanesar to Kannauj. ठीक है? The Mokharis are also mentioned in Patanjali's work. Guys, the kings of this period are not important. That's why I'm not making you write all these things. There are several. Just move on to the period from 600 to 750 AD, South India. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे लिए, इसमें से बहुत क्वेश्चन आते हैं. 600 to 750 AD. देखो हमने इंट्रोडक्शन में लिखा हुआ है, द पीरियड फ्रॉम 300 to 750 CE. I repeat, the period from 350 to 750 CE or AD marks the second historical phase in regions south of Vindhyas. Regions south of Vindhyas. It continued some processes. some processes from the first historical phase, but it also differed from the first historical phase in many respects. Guys, on the left, mark बीच से वो कर लो differentiation. First historical phase is post Mauryas, that is 200 BC to 300 AD. 200 BC to 300 AD is the first historical phase of South India. And on the right, please write second historical phase 200 to 300. यानी चल नहीं रहा ना 300 एंड सेकेंड हिस्टोरिकल फेज बीच में पार्टीशन करके इज 300 to 750 AD. इससे क्या होगा, हम लोग कंपेयर कर पाएंगे साउथ इंडिया को. फर्स्ट हिस्टोरिकल फेज में लिखो द मेजर किंगडम्स वर Satavahanas, Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas. Satavahanas, Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas. Satavahanas, no. It's post Mauryas. मौर्य खत्म कब हुए थे? 1 के बीच में, 1 BC के बीच में. उसके बाद we had Satavahana in the south. I'll make you understand when I'll be elaborately dealing with architecture. ठीक है, उसकी चिंता मत करो तुम लोग. ठीक है, okay. On the right, please write 3 major kingdoms. 300 to 750 में there are 3 major kingdoms of this era. Were of Pallavas of Kanchi, Chalukyas of Badami. देखो चालुक्यास, अब चालुक्यास की कैपिटल मत पूछने की कहां पर है, बादामी है. ठीक है, नहीं जरूरी. एनी डाउट इज अ डाउट भाई, पेपर से अच्छा यहां पूछ लो. ठीक है, ये मत सोचो कि यू नो देयर इज अ टॉपर. अब मैं बताता हूं उनका सीन क्या हुआ. अब भाई नए बंदे को नहीं पता होता यार. क्लास में चल रहा था कि आर्टिकल 19 सेज दैट यू नो राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड ऑल. सो सारी क्लास खत्म हो गई तो लड़की पूछती है कि सर ये हिंदू का कौन से आर्टिकल में पढ़ना है, ये हिंदू के कौन से आर्टिकल में पढ़ना है. वो इसको लगा कि पेपर का आर्टिकल है. 2 साल बाद वो फॉरेन सर्विसेज में है. मैं उस लड़की का नाम बोल रहा हूँ, उसे खुद ही बताया था अपने इंटरव्यू में. तो यार मतलब कभी कभी नहीं पता होता. हाँ, नहीं पता होता. इट्स जस्ट दैट एंशिएंट में तो आप मानोगे नहीं. आई एम टेलिंग यू, आई वाज टेकिंग अ क्लास इन फॉरमाइस एंड लाइक द क्राउड इज वेरी गुड. So 2 mains, 3 mains. So I was taking modern में टपाटप आंसर, क्वेश्चन आंसर. एंशिएंट में सन्नाटा. इनका बता भाई सर, मैंने मॉडर्न में तो बहुत बोल रहा था भाई, तू क्या हो गया. तो ही लाइक नो सर, एंशिएंट पढ़ाया नहीं गया. आई वाज टॉट इन माजीराम. मैंने कहा इट देयर आर 3 people who are teaching same paper. So ऐसा होता है ना, वहाँ पर 3-4 टीचर्स एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा रहे होते हैं. यू सी इफ यू टीच वन सब्जेक्ट विद डिफरेंट पीपल, नो लाइक एंशिएंट और मॉडर्न की बात नहीं कर रहा मैं, उसके लिए तो अलग चाहिए. बट एंशिएंट को ही आप 3 भागों में बांट दोगे तो I'm teaching different ways, he's teaching different way, they are teaching different way. So the continuity, the chronology will not be established. If the chronology is not established, then it doesn't make any sense. You cannot connect that in your head. If you cannot connect that in your head, you will not understand it. You will not link it. You will not be able to do it in your answers. That's what I'm trying to say. ठीक है, चलो भाई. Pallavas of Kanchi, Chalukyas of Badami, and Pandyas of Madurai. देखो यहाँ पर मदुरई लिखा नहीं हुआ है, but Pandyas, Madurai, तमिलनाडु में. Then we have, just go to the first phase, left side पे. This period was, हाँ किसका? पल्लवास और हाँ पल्लवास का कांचीपुरम और कांची, चालुक्यास का बादामी एंड पांड्यास का मदुरई. नो, पल्लवास का कांची, चालुक्यास का बादामी एंड पांड्यास का मदुरई. ठीक है, okay. Next, come to the first phase again. This period was marked by appearance of numerous crafts, internal and external trade, widespread use of coins, and a good number of towns. Okay, on the right, please write next. Trade, town, and coinage declined in this phase. However, there was expansion of agrarian economy. Again, on the left, 200 to 300 wale mein, the period offered patronage to Buddhism. Post Mauryas के टाइम पे बुद्धिज्म को पैट्रोनेज मिलता था, as is evident in extensive Buddhist monuments, in both Andhra and Maharashtra. Full stop. In both Andhra and Maharashtra. Full stop. उसी में लिखना है. Cave inscriptions also point to the existence of Jainism and Buddhism in southern districts of Tamil Nadu. On the next one, right side wale mein likho. There was more emphasis on Brahmanism. And more instances of Vedic sacrifices by kings. Jainism was restricted to Karnataka in this phase.
Introducing the Prelims Target course and Prelims Test Series at ProdEgyIAS. Designed for UPSC Prelims 2026, this comprehensive program offers in-depth classes on history, geography, science and tech, environment, polity and governance, and economy. Stay updated with current affairs and sharpen your skills with our Prelims Test Series consisting of 50 full-length tests covering all subjects along with CSAT. Join ProdEgyIAS and stay ahead.